Hey there, VC HHD students. My name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're looking at the VCAA 2025 HHD sample exam, question number 12, suggested sample answers. This is relevant for Unit 3 and 4 HHD for the 2025 plus HHD study design. Before we dive into this video, just a reminder, there's a range of ways you can engage with the Health Resources Hub. If you're on our YouTube channel at the moment, you can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there, and that means you'll get alerts to all of our new videos as they come out across the year, especially in the lead up to HHD exam this year. Also got our website, the hrh.net.au, where there's opportunities for HHD students and teachers, so please check that out. We've got our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook pages where you can follow us and get alerts to our new videos and other opportunities, and also our email, info@thehrh.net.au, if you'd like to get in touch. Okay, before we have a look at question 12, just a reminder, if you're a HHD student who's doing Unit 3 and 4 and you're preparing for the exam this year, you might like a copy of our course notes that cover all the key concepts across Unit 3 and 4. And so this includes all the relevant glossary terms and key concepts you need to be across as part of your exam preparation. We've also got some practice questions for all the different areas of study in Unit 3 and 4. So if you're after some easy, medium, and hard practice questions, you can head to our website and you'll see there's a student drop down that will take you to this page here, and you can fill in this form and we'll get in touch with how you can access our course notes and practice questions. Okay, so let's have a look at question 12 from the sample exam. So this is worth 8 marks. So there was A and B, which were both worth 4 marks each. And so A here was asked you to outline how the following factors could contribute to the challenges Australians face in making nutritional change. So this is obviously relevant for Unit 3, Area of Study 2, where you're looking at challenges bringing about nutritional change in Australia, and you're looking at socio-cultural, commercial, and environmental factors, but here you're just being asked about socio-cultural and commercial. So make sure you know a range of socio-cultural and commercial factors, okay, as well as environmental in relation to this key knowledge point to give yourself some flexibility when it comes to answering a question like this or a similar question in the exam. And so essentially based on whatever factors you would choose for this question here, you should outline how it makes it difficult essentially to consume a healthy diet, or why more people might be continuing to consume a diet that's higher in things like processed foods with high levels of things like sugar, fat, and sodium. So let's just have a look at a couple of samples here. So the first one for sociocultural is nutrition knowledge. So it says there a lack of nutrition knowledge and not having the skills required to prepare and cook meals that include the recommended proportions of the 5 food groups, such as fruit and vegetables, could be a barrier to changing eating patterns. And that's because people with lower levels of education may believe that food they're consuming is good for them, even if it may be higher in nutrients such as sodium, sugar, and saturated fat. So essentially, you're giving an outline about what this particular factor is about, so lack of nutrition knowledge and skills, and then what that might mean people might not be aware of in relation to consuming appropriate foods, such as the proportion of the 5 food groups like fruit and vegetables. So then for commercial, I've given their packaging and labeling as an example. So the labels on food products can often be misleading and influence consumers to purchase foods that may not be the healthiest options. Labels may claim to be high in protein or fat-free, but they may also be high in other nutrients such as sugar, and such claims can present a challenge in improving nutritional intake. So once again, you're taking, okay, the example of a factor, okay, making it clear that you understand it and how it might make, okay, that healthy consumption of things like fruit and vegetables or a healthier diet low in some of those unhealthy nutrients difficult as a result of that factor there. So you can see the suggested mark allocation, so a mark for information relevant to a sociocultural factor in nutritional change, and then how it makes it challenging, and the same for a commercial factor. So you could easily go back and practice this question with a range of different sociocultural, commercial, environmental factors to put into practice what you've learned throughout the year. Okay, before we have a look at B, just a reminder, there's one more opportunity if you're still wanting to come along to a HHD exam preparation session I'm running with ACE this year on the 15th of October. There's a session running online, so you can join from anywhere in the state. I'll be going over section A and B exam advice and strategies in that session, and as well as covering all the key concepts across Unit 3 and 4. You'll get a great set of notes in the post if you sign up, but also you can bundle it together with the revision questions book you can see there, and that's got over 500 marks worth of practice questions, as well as a full trial exam and the full chapter on section B. So if you're looking for additional questions as part of your exam preparation, it's got sample answers for all of those as well. So that's all at book.acevca.com. So you can see here B, which was also worth 4 marks, said one initiative of the Australian government to promote healthy eating has been the implementation of the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Guide to Healthy Eating. And so it says there, evaluate the capacity of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Guide to Healthy Eating to promote health outcomes. So there's obviously a few things to take note of in the question there. That term evaluate essentially is asking you to sort of make a judgment, okay, about the capacity of this initiative and then to promote health outcomes. So remember, health outcomes is referring to health and well-being dimensions and or health status indicators. So for 4 marks like this, you could do a combination of a health and well-being dimension and a health status indicator, or 2 dimensions and 2 health status indicators. So any of those options would be fine. So for 4 marks, I'd be essentially breaking this into sort of 2 2-mark responses. So something relevant to the initiative and linking it in, okay, to a dimension or health status indicator and doing that 2 times. Okay, so let's have a look at a suggested sample answer. So this one here just mentions the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Guide to Healthy Eating is a visual guide of the recommended proportions of 5 food groups that should be consumed each day, and that can promote health outcomes if it's followed. And so then it says if Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people follow the recommended proportions of dairy foods each day on the poster, which is approximately 10% of that plate or pie, they're likely to be consuming adequate calcium, and that means they're less likely to develop osteoporosis, as calcium helps to strengthen bones, and that helps to reduce the YLD and burden of disease for this condition. So try to make sure you take something specific from that healthy eating initiative, and if possible, link it into something like a nutrient and a health condition to make that link into health outcomes. The second half there is talking about if Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people consume water as the recommended beverage of choice each day as depicted on the poster, they're less likely to exceed the energy recommendations for each day by instead consuming sugary drinks, and that can therefore help them to maintain a healthy body weight and promote physical health and well-being. So once again, taking something from, okay, the poster and then linking that into either a health and well-being dimension or health status indicator. So if followed, how it can promote health outcomes. And so obviously you have to take note of that term promote in the question and make sure you're talking about, okay, something positive in terms of those health and well-being dimensions or health status indicators. Okay, so you can see there, considerations make clear your evaluation in relation to promoting health outcomes, and it relates to those dimensions and health status indicators. So a suggested mark allocation would be a mark for an example of the guide to healthy eating, and then, as we've said, linking that into health outcome and doing that a couple of times. Okay, hope you found that useful. Just a reminder, if you're after extra practice questions or a trial exam in the lead up to the exam, the revision questions book, as I mentioned, is available at book.acevc.com, or our course notes and other practice questions are available via our website for students. Thanks so much.